Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle and I love to talk all things personal finance. So today is July 15th, meaning we are due for a financial check-in on our monthly budget. So when I was looking at the budget a little bit this morning just to prepare for this video, the numbers are looking really good and I'm so happy because we've actually never gotten this close to hitting our budget, or we're only halfway through the month, so I can't get too excited. What I can say is that usually at this point, we have either hit our budget buckets or we've exceeded them. We've never been below them. And as of today, there's like only one bucket that has exceeded its budget expense and only by $1 and a couple cents. So we're doing so good, and I don't know if that's credit to just knowing I was going to film this video and it's keeping me accountable, or just being more aware of our finances because I'm starting this channel. But the numbers are looking so good and I can't wait to get into them because they are exciting. And by the way, look at this cute little mug. It fits perfectly into my hand. I got it at the Art and Wine Festival over the weekend and it was definitely a want, not a need, but it just is so cute. I am a sucker for anything that is red and pink, especially with hearts and especially in coffee cup mug form. So I had to get this. It was so cute. So we are going to go through our expenses for the month, but we're also going to start a savings challenge. And I'm calling this challenge 90 days to 10K because in 90 days, we will have saved up $10,000. And I can't wait to share with you all of my savings tips and tricks that have helped us make progress on some of our savings goals. So $10,000 in 90 days. How are we going to achieve that? The first thing that I put in place is having a budget, having a realistic budget. When we started tracking our expenses and budgeting, we actually didn't set a budget the first couple months. We just started tracking our expenses to see what we spent in different categories of our life. If you were to ask me, how much should we budget for our groceries? I would be like, I have no idea, like $2,000, $500. I literally have no idea because that's how far away we were from understanding where our money was going. You don't know what your budget should be or even what your savings goals should be for that matter if you don't know what your financial landscape looks like today. We first need to understand how much we spend a month and what our baseline is. So then we can use that baseline to create and build a budget from. And that's what we did. When we started tracking our expenses, there were so many things that were very surprising. The first was, of course, how much we were spending in certain areas of our life, like eating out and entertainment and shopping. But it really was the wake-up call that we needed to start to make some change. The second step we took when we started reaching for some of these big savings goals we've had was finding ways to bring more money in. Some of the things that I have done have been selling things on Etsy. I've created animation videos for companies and I've sold those services through platforms like Fiverr. I've done Rover. Exploring ways that you can bring in more money on top of your regular monthly paycheck is a great way to start working towards those savings goals. But of course, the other way is to cut expenses. And for us personally, I think cutting expenses have even shown to be more effective than finding other ways to bring money in. And I attribute that to the fact that a lot of times when we will bring money in, we will actually end up using that money to pad our spending, which is not good. It's not what we want to be doing. When we're trying to work towards a savings goal, we always want to make sure that whatever extra money we're making, we're not using that to inflate our lifestyle, but we're putting it towards our savings goals. A challenging area has always been shopping, which doesn't just encompass clothes in our budget. Shopping can mean anything from a new mug, things for the kitchen, whether that's utensils or plates. It could mean books, toys that we buy for the girls. So many things go into our shopping budget, but something that was really challenging for me especially was fighting against impulse purchases. I've gotten into a really bad habit of when I want something, I'll buy it. And I really won't think twice about it and definitely need to pull out of that habit. So what I'm going to be doing these next 90 days is implementing a cool off period in between wanting something and actually purchasing something. And that time, whether it's 24 hours, a day, or even 2 weeks, it allows you to consider if that purchase is really necessary or if it was just a fleeting desire. So with that, let's go ahead and do the midpoint review where we're going to look at some of the expenses and see how we're lined up to meet our goals for the month of July. So we're going to do our mid-month check-in and we're going to look at our income, our expenses, and our savings so far for the month of July. And again, today is July 15th, so we are right in the middle of the month. So far, we have made a total of $10,255. That includes my husband's paycheck, my first paycheck of the month, as well as dog sitting. So we did do dog sitting this month and we made $1,500 from that. With that $10,255, we have paid for rent. So that was $2,400. We've also paid for most of our subscriptions and memberships, another $219. We've also contributed to our investments. So with this $10,000 savings goal, I'm actually not going to be including our regular contributions to our retirement and our investment account. That is on an automatic savings plan, and we're just going to leave that be, and we're not going to count that towards this $10,000 goal. The $10,000 goal is going to be a completely different savings bucket on its own. But we have contributed a total of $2,346 to our regular recurring investments and retirement accounts. That includes our index fund, the employee stock purchase plan, my 401k contribution, my Roth IRA contribution, Carlos's Roth IRA contribution, and my daughter's 529 college funds. And what we've contributed so far to our savings bucket is a total of $3,167. So that also does include the extra $1,500 that we got from dog sitting. We fully put that into that savings bucket because that is the goal this month. Whatever extra money we make, we do not use that to spend more. We use that to save more. We're already $3,167 into our savings goal of $10,000. So let's touch on expenses real quickly. Our average weekly spending in June was $2,195 a week. That sounds horrible. It is horrible. That's a lot of money. The average weekly spending in July so far is around $870-ish. So the first week of July, we spent $894, and this week we spent $862, which I think is so great comparing ourselves to what our benchmark is. And so far, we have a total of 3 no-spend days for the month, and my goal is to have a total of 9 no-spend days. We have spent a total of $2,418. This includes groceries, eating out, gas, shopping, entertainment, home, gifts, pets, wellness, miscellaneous, and that is it. So where did I save? Where did we save money? So we said no morning coffee every single day of the week. Instead, we usually do a coffee run on Fridays and make it like a treat, something special. We also, when we did go to the coffee shop, we only bought one item. So I usually bring my girls as well because they're on summer vacation and we all go together. So instead of buying a treat and a drink, we only buy one item. So I usually get myself a coffee. My daughter usually gets like a muffin or a treat, and my other daughter usually either gets a drink or a treat. So we definitely only get one item each. We also packed our sandwiches for a pool day. We had a pool day over the weekend, last weekend, and instead of getting in and out like we usually would, we packed sandwiches and brought them. So we saved some money there. I had signed up for Experian, a credit check service, and I forgot to cancel my free trial, and I was charged $24.99. And I actually reached out to them to see if they would refund me and cancel my membership because I forgot to. And they said yes. So I got that money back, and I think that definitely was a win as well. I also received a back in stock email. So if you online shop and there's something that you want but they're out of stock, you can usually like put your email in and then they'll notify you when it's back in stock. So I did receive that, and I was so tempted to buy this item. It's like it's definitely a want. It is not a need because it was like a little keychain, wristlet keychain for your phone. I do not need that. It was very cute and I definitely wanted it, and I didn't buy it. So that was also a win. And then we've been really focused on free activities. So we've been doing a lot of hiking. We've gone to the pool. The girls have been playing on the slip and slide. We've been running through sprinklers. I've really been into reading. So we're really exploring a lot of activities that don't require money, that are free and fun. So that has also been helping this summer too. And finally, on our eating out budget is the place that we usually spend the most. And unfortunately, it's never like a nice dinner. It's usually like a bunch of little meals, usually like fast food meals that add up. So instead of just mindlessly spending, we've been looking at it like, okay, let's save that so we can actually have a really nice dinner at the end of the week. And that's what we did. We went on a date night, the first date night we've had in like several months. So that's an issue on its own. We need to have more date nights, but it was really nice to actually enjoy a really good dinner. We went to a local Mexican restaurant. They had really fancy drinks, really tasty tacos, and we really enjoyed our date night. And it was so much more special and memorable than random In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A charges throughout the week. So that is another mentality that we'll continue to have, where we are saving because we want to enjoy this money in the way we want to enjoy it. So that wraps up our mid-month check-in. We are pretty much on track with hitting our goals. Of course, we are cutting it close to certain expense buckets like shopping and our home bucket. But overall, I think we have a really good shot of getting really close to our budget. And I think this is probably the best 2 weeks we've had in a while. And I can't wait to see where we are at the end of the month. But it's important to know that we'll have some good weeks, we'll have some bad weeks, and it's just important to practice compassion for ourselves. We will check back in at the end of the month and see where we are. So with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your July, and I can't wait to tune back in towards the end of the month. And that includes my husband's paycheck, my paycheck, as well as there's like a fly buzzing around. I don't know if you could see that.